I think black lawyers aware of the black experience, coming out of that experience and going through law schools and legal institutions, must begin to create different legal theories. The acceptance of such phrases as due process is meaningless when a man's property can be taken from him so easily when he's black and when he's poor. When the legal resources in this country are used principally for the interests of the corporations, of commercial concerns, of the affluent. And when a man stands before a court of law, if he's black and if he's poor, his rights are not the same as that of rich. Black lawyers understand that, and they must become advocates for the people in a totally different way.
Sure. Very good. And the good part, it's so short. When you come right down to it, did you have the one coming?
Ask me easy question because it's not.
Revenue sharing and welfare reform must be critically analyzed by black lawyers for their effect on black people. What does welfare reform mean to black people? Does it mean $600 million to Lockheed, or does it mean a few crumbs to a number of people? The most important thing about the Black Law Journal is that it will be a forum for a new breed of legal activists prepared to share their knowledge with those concerned with black community development. Emphasis in the journal will be on such practical problems, such age-old problems, such unresolved problems as housing, health, economic development, bail reform, civil rights of prisoners, and other areas affecting the quality of urban life.
Well, I think that these
people in this country, simply use of legal skills in the courtroom. Law is political in many ways. And when we begin to realize that 4,000 black lawyers cannot begin to speak to the needs of 25 million people, you have to begin to think about black people all around the country aware of what their legal rights are. When you take a
release here, you say a new black movement promising to collide with Nixon's law and order policy. Would you give us a little more details on that? Does this mean you're against law and order?
I think that black people are for law and they're for order, but then they're not for order without law. And I think the president, and I don't want to focus on the president because I think the legal institutions need change beyond President Nixon. But I think the president's use of law and order is not in the best interest of black people, although the estimates are that black people are most often affected by crimes of violence, and they clearly have an interest in law and order, but not the kind of law and order which politicians mouth. The new breed of black lawyer will begin to critically analyze those statements and many others that will be made as we move toward 1972 by politicians, by expedient politicians who act in their interest but not in the interest of black people.
Can our legal system be changed to provide this law and order that you desire?
I think that black attorneys putting pressure on the system of justice, not alone, but with many, many black people more aware of their rights, can do it, but I don't think black lawyers alone can do it. And so therefore the Black Law Journal doesn't emphasize lawyers communicating with lawyers, lawyers acting in the interest of people, but lawyers enabling people to act in their own behalf. And when those many people start standing up and talking about their health, housing, welfare, and other problems affected by lawless administrative agencies acting in very arbitrary ways around this country, that you're talking about a legal system that's going to have to change. It's going to have to bend. It's going to have to be more flexible. It's going to have to take their interest into account.
Ms. Williams.